Mrs. Smith.
Hi.
Veronica Marin from DHL. It is very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can I please take a seat?
Yes, please sit down.
Thank you very much. I understand that we have this meeting for 15 minutes. Is that time is still okay with you?
Yep, still good with me.
Great. So this is my business card. I don't know if you have one for me as well.
Thank you so much.
Well, Mrs. Smith, how much do you already know about DHL?
Pretty good amount. We were just really looking to inquire about it
Okay.
and see what opportunities there were.
Okay, that's great. So I'm just gonna show you a little overview about DHL.
Yeah.
We are the leaders in the international shipping market. We've been in the market for more than 4 decades, and that has enabled us to provide our customers with smart and reliable logistics services in more than 220 countries.
Okay.
Yeah. So besides DHL, I was reading in Nisolo's website, and I read that you have this program by which you provide education for the children of your workers. And that caught my attention because we have a very similar program at DHL. It is called Go Teach. I actually brought this picture with me. So here I am. We were in Chile, this is my team, and we were painting this park in front of a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was wondering, have you ever had the opportunity to be part of this program at Nisolo?
Yeah, definitely. I've had several times that we get to give back to the community, and it's probably why I'm still with the company.
That's great to hear. Well, the reason why I brought this up is because it made me realize how similar companies actually are. You do not only create a product, you actually create opportunities for all the people involved in creating that product. And we at DHL, we do not only deliver your package, we actually deliver opportunities for you to grow and improve your business.
Okay.
So we take that step further, we both provide more value for our end customers, and that's why I took the time to make this value chart for us.
Okay.
So the objective of our meeting is to improve the value of your company. And as you can see along the way, there are some points of input, and these represent those areas in which DHL can help you improve, or those areas in which you may be facing obstacles.
Okay.
So what I want to do today is just ask you a few questions to understand the position of your company, and then if you like it, I can proceed to present you how can DHL provide your company with more value.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good plan to you?
Sounds good with me.
Perfect. So is it okay if I proceed to ask you those questions?
Yes.
Great. So, is there anybody else that should be involved in this meeting in order to make a final decision?
Not this meeting, but
Okay.
potentially others.
Okay, so is it going to be your boss or is it going to
Yeah.
be someone else?
It's going to be my CEO.
Okay.
His name is Sam, and so he'll
Okay,
definitely
perfect.
need to be involved with any further decision making. But today it's good for us.
I understand. And when it comes to partnering with a logistics company, what are some of those key characteristics that you're looking for in a company?
Some key characteristics. Great question. I think primarily we're looking for obviously reliability
Okay,
is our
perfect.
number one. Making sure the cost is being maintained pretty regularly, as well as just overall customer experience with us and very clear
Okay.
communication.
Perfect. I understand. So you're looking for reliability, very good price, and customer service. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. And do you mind if I ask you who's your current shipping company?
So right now we've got a few different ones
Okay, I understand.
because we're shipping internationally as well as domestically.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you said that you are shipping with different companies. Why is that?
Mostly because some of the domestic companies don't ship internationally.
Okay.
So we're sort of working with what we've got.
Okay, I understand. And how has that process been for you? Has it been like complex to work with different companies?
So it's not been the most streamlined process, which I think we would prefer to see, and it sort of depends on its case by case scenario.
Right, I understand.
And so sometimes it's not an issue, other times there's definitely communication problems.
Okay, I completely understand. I just want to confirm some facts. So I understand that you
Yeah.
import from Chile to the US, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And do you have any plans of expansion when it comes to importing from or exporting to any other country?
Yeah, great question. So really, we're looking at a potential new Spain route.
That's great to hear.
Yes, most likely because we're trying to increase our branding, recognition and awareness
Okay.
in Spain.
Okay.
And so in order to do that, we're going to host a couple of events, which would require us to have several shipments.
Okay, I completely understand. And I also understand that your packages are time sensitive, right? They need
Yes.
to get to the US by noon.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Mrs. Smith, so you mentioned reliability as one of your main criteria, right? Why is that? How is your current company working with your needs?
So it's okay, but overall I think part of the issues are going to come from the fact that our packages are very time sensitive, and when we miss things, problems start to come up and problems start to happen, delays which cost us money, which
Right.
we do everything we can to make sure it doesn't affect the customer.
Right, I understand.
But there's times that it does, and then it costs us even more money. And
so you mentioned delayed packages.
Yes.
Is this something that has happened before?
Yes.
And how often has this happened?
Most recently it happened a couple weeks ago, and we're still dealing with the consequences.
Okay, but it's something that happens on a weekly basis or monthly basis?
Probably every couple of months. It's not something super regular, but it does come up.
Okay, I understand. And what does that mean for your company? What is the average value of a package that gets delayed?
So, great question. The average value of the package itself sits between, call it $3,500 and $5,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's steep. And then, let's say it gets delayed and then you have to reship the same package, then that's another $35,000 to $5,000 to just products.
This is just the shipment?
Yeah, this is just the product. This isn't even costing the shipment itself. So this is just the value of what's inside the box.
Okay, I understand. And what happens when a customer gets this package delayed? Have you ever lost any account because of this?
So, great question. I would say primarily what we do when packages get delayed is we immediately ship out for the next day. And so then it's overnight shipping and it's very, very quick. So we try not to have the customers delayed. Obviously that costs us more money.
Okay, how much money do they cost you?
So to do very, fast, next day shipping on these bigger boxes it's thousands.
It's thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So you're losing $5,000 when it comes to the value of the package, and when it is late, you are even investing more. You're investing even more thousands of dollars in order to get the package to your end customers,
to the
right?
end customer, exactly.
And what else could you be doing with that money?
So we could be expanding, we could be saving, we could be hiring new people.
Right.
We could be creating more products. We could be in more of a. I think from my sales perspective, we would have better numbers for the sales team.
I completely agree with you, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this situation. You mentioned expansion, which is very important for you, if I'm right.
Yes.
So if this is something that is already happening with your current shipping company, don't you think that this is something that can be repeated when you're expanding to Spain as well?
Yes, that's part of the hesitation.
Right. What would that mean for you?
So our Spain, there's going to be a couple different events that happen, and so those events could not happen without the shipments.
And how much have you invested already in those events?
So right now we're very preliminary still.
Okay, I understand.
Just trying to figure out, hey, could we do that? There's a lot of hesitations for, just like you said, we've had shipping issues. We don't really want to expand those shipping issues.
Right, I completely understand. So we could say that, that would be fair to say that those $1,000 could make a difference between you arriving in a good shape to Spain or not.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, I understand that. You already talked about customer service. Can you tell me a little bit about how is your experience with customer service with your current shipping company?
So right now it's been very miscommunicated. So when we have delays and problems, no one really wants to take the responsibility for it and provide reasons and solutions on how to A, get the packages back, B, make sure that it never happens again. So that's why customer service is definitely top of mind for us.
Okay, I completely understand. And you say that they do not take responsibility. Have you incurred any kind of, have you had to pay for any kind of packages when they are not responsible or anything like that?
So, yeah, ultimately we end up eating the cost of them. We most of the time get the packages back because the majority of the challenges are getting through customs. And so it just gets delayed on that end rather than lost packages. So we end up getting the material back, but we've already spent the front end cost to ship it, and then we had to pay another shipment fee that we don't get back.
Okay, so you're losing money.
Right.
I understand. Look, money and time, right?
Yes.
And you also mentioned that they are retaining customs. What service does your current shipping company provide you with that when they are retained?
Yeah, so not a ton of help. At the end of the day, the problems are the labels and the shipments. When we're dealing with leather goods, it can sort of get tricky within customs. We've most recently we've had some issues with the Fish and Wildlife Agency.
Okay, I understand. Well, I'm so sorry to hear all of those problems, Mrs. Smith. if I tell you that DHL is a company that is able to provide you with a solution for these three problems that we have already identified, we identified that you're losing a lot of money because of the delayed packages that you are receiving, right? We also identified that the customer service with your current shipping company is not great and they are not responsible when a package is delayed or is retained. And we already identify as well that your package, when it is retained in customs, I mean, your current shipping company does not do anything about that, right? So, are you interested in hearing how can DHL provide you with solutions for all these obstacles?
I definitely am. Price is a concern.
Okay, I completely understand. Why is price a concern for you?
Price is probably the biggest concern because we've looked at DHL in the past and it just hasn't been competitive.
It hasn't been competitive?
Yes.
Well, sometimes we are a couple pennies more, sometimes we're a couple pennies less than our competitors, but I can guarantee you that we have the most reliability when it comes to international shipping.
Okay.
Actually, I want to show you this. We are 96% reliable when it comes to our international shipping,
Okay.
right? So, and it goes in the sense that we provide you your shipments fast and they are secure. I mean, they're gonna be safe. Does that make you feel more comfortable?
It does. I think it just financially has to make sense.
Okay, I completely understand. I have here a metric of all the prices that I can provide you, but I do not know enough already about your company. So if it's okay with you, I can just keep asking you questions, or I can do that in a second meeting. And when I know like what are those specialized needs that you have, we can talk more about price. Because we really want to understand what are your needs and we want to provide you with something that you do need and with a very good price. It sounds like a good idea for you?
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Thank you. Okay, so you mentioned delayed packages, right? And you mentioned that they are retained on your customs, right?
Yes.
So we have a service that is called wheels up clearance, by which your all the custom paperwork is sent before your package arrives to the country of destination.
Okay.
So that means that once your package arrives to that country, it is cleared out to go. It does not need to be retained. And we also work with your custom broker, or we have custom brokers in many places, so they can deal with those kind of situations. So your package will never have to be retained again if you work with DHL. You actually talk about customer service. So I brought this award with us. So we actually have this award for a great customer service, and we have these both in Chile and in Spain that you mentioned, right? So I'm just gonna leave this aside for you to review after the meeting. And I want to mention Spain as well. You mentioned that Spain is one of your objectives, right? So I just want to prove to you why DHL is a great option to work with when it comes to shipping to Spain. So we have the most resources when it comes to shipping in Spain, and we have the largest presence across Spain. And as I already showed you, this enables us with a 96% reliability in our transit time performance. Also, I would like to let you know that we are the only shipping company that is certified by TAPA, which means that we comply with some requirements that guarantee that your package is going to get there on time and it's going to get there safe. Right? And we also have 45% of the market share there in Spain. I would also like to tell you, we talk about delayed packages, right? I would also like to let you know that we have a service which is called DHL Express, and you can set your shipments in a way that they can get either at the end of the next day, or they can get in a time that you set, or they can get by the next day either at 9, 10:30, or 12 p.m. And we guarantee that your packages are gonna get there. So Mrs. Smith, I see that you probably can see the value that DHL can provide to you. Is it okay if we set up a second meeting and we can invite your CEO so we can talk about the next steps?
Yeah, I think that sounds good with me.
That's great. So does it work for you Tuesday or Thursday?
Neither of those days are great with me. What about well, let's see, I'm not available. What about Friday afternoon?
Friday afternoon? Does it sound good if we meet at 3 p.m.?
3 p.m. Make it 2 and you got yourself a meeting.
Perfect. I'll do that. It was very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I can't give feedback.
That's okay.
But you did.
Thank you very much.
That was big.
Oh my god. I was nervous, to be honest.
You didn't seem nervous.
I did not?
No. Which is pretty impressive because I pick up on nerves pretty easily.